Today, our guest is Regla Jimenez, the owner and founder of Kitchen Pro, a design remodeling company based here in Miami, Florida. Ms. Jimenez's career began as a marketing director of Perrier Picard, a famous French company, over 20 years ago and expanded across various trades and countries. Her path in the construction industry began in Shanghai, China, leading up to a successful career in the Miami high-rise construction management sector. She specialized in finishes such as wood, tile, and stones, lastly culminating in the foundation of her self-owned business, Kitchen Pro. The company now represents two highly prestigious kitchen manufacturers from both Germany and Spain, among others. Today, I bring you Regla Jimenez, a businesswoman. She has built a successful career through what most would consider a man's world by bringing ease and comfort to her clients' construction experience.
It's all my pleasure. It's an honor, really, to be sitting here near to you.
The honor is mine. After listening to your story and what you've done and what you have been able to accomplish, I'm so excited about how can we share this with other women around the world. So let's do that. You're up for it?
Here we go.
So tell me, how did you get into construction? Tell me about you and your company, Kitchen Pro. You hear the name and you think you're doing kitchens. So tell us about you.
Well, let's say Kitchen Pro started because at the very beginning, we were thinking about to focus basically on the kitchen because, the kitchen is the heart of the house. The kitchen is the place where you go every day, where you meet with your, with your kids, they do the homework. It's something important. So that's why we say, okay, it's going to be Kitchen Pro, which is more than a kitchen because the kitchen is more than that. But then, because my background is construction, then we start with the kitchen, but then my clients ask, hey, could you do this? Could you do that? Because they know me to doing all that. So at the end, we did more. So the slogan, more than a kitchen, became not only for the name of the company, but also for the core of the company. Then we do more than a kitchen.
So that's awesome. You're right about the kitchen being the place in the house that everyone uses the most. So that's smart. It's more than the kitchen. It's homey, right?
Yeah.
When you say my background is in construction, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that as we were commenting before, I was living in Shanghai for 5 years in China. So there I was working at the beginning in fashion industry. But then I have the opportunity, to see and to learn a lot about, all the Italian fashion culture and all these fashion things all around the world. So I was always interested in design. So I started studying at that time some design and interior design. And I met a friend, Chinese friend, that is an engineer on mining. So I was really delighted about everything about stones. So we started like a little company to export and to sell stone, quartz or tags or all kind of stone and the things you could do with it. So that's how I started. And then later on I came to live in the US. So one of the clients that I had here, because I was used to come very often, decided to get into another level in his business. So he was very knowledgeable on construction, but he wanted to get into the high rise. So he knew my knowledge on, stones and so on, and management. So he said, hey, could you come with me to do this? And then that's how I started. And we built, more than 12 high rise here in Miami.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
Yeah.
And some people don't know that you're Cuban. So you actually went to China. Some people don't know the journey that you had to undertake in order to do or follow your dream.
Yeah, for Cuban, it's really, really hard to make your dreams come true. So for a lot of people, the only way to do that is to leave the country. So you go whenever you could. So not everyone have the money, to pay to go to dream place. So you need to go where the life gave you the opportunity. And the life gave me the opportunity to go to China because I have an Italian friend that have a company there. So he said, when you are ready, I would like you to manage my company there. And for me, it was an opportunity, to be out and to dream.
Wow, that must have been. Did you have to learn the language?
Well, in my Chinese, it's very low class. Let's say I know a lot. No, not a lot. I know enough to eat, to travel, to talk, but not that much. All the business were done in English. But I know it.
I can imagine. So tell me how you come here to the US after this journey in China that probably prepared you to do what you're doing now. Because life always has a way. The hardship, the challenges, they prepare you to the next level. And you overcame a lot of them, I can imagine. Tell me, you come here and you incorporated, you start your company. What is it that got inside of you that you said, I want to have my company?
Well, I'm a person that I have a purpose, I said, okay, I want to do this. What do I need to do to go there? So that was important for me. So when I get here, they say, okay, this is what I know how to do. What can I make myself here? Because it's like to reborn. So, okay, maybe I can work in fashion here, or I can work in design, but what can I do? So I knew that I have this knowledge, and then I started with that. I also did a lot of trade that gave me also the opportunity to know how to work with the suppliers, how to manage the stocks, that kind of thing. So as you said, step by step, life is preparing you to what is going to be the future. Also, I have a family, that I have to support. So I needed to work. I needed to make my day to support my people.
So you're saying that you started your company very clear as to what your purpose was, right? What was your outcome? So your purpose was it to raise your family, which was your daughter, right? What was I'm sure you have the clarity. This is what I want to do. Can you give us more clarity? Can you express what it was, the outcome?
Well, when I create Kitchen Pro, which was not my first company, but when I create Kitchen Pro, I wanted to do beauty because that's really made me happy. And I think made people happy. So the opportunity to transform something for people, it's part of transform their life. So I knew that something that looks sometimes ugly or in bad condition could be amazing at the end. It's, it needs some TLC, So that was the reason. And also doing that, it not only made me happy, but all my team, it was people that work really hard and they know how to create this. And also I think this will inspire, my daughter that, you need to fight hard if you wanted to accomplish things in life. So
work hard, right?
Yeah.
Have to grind.
Yes.
That's awesome. It's such a beautiful outcome. You wanted to do this for your daughter, for you, create wealth, but also make people happy through your product. Every time you see your client, right, with the outcome of them being happy, they are being transformed, you're going to be successful. And that's a beautiful formula for success.
Thank you. It's like when you do construction, especially if you do residential, you get to know your clients so good because you get deep into their house, you get inside their walls, so you know everything. And that's create a bond that really drive you through. It's really super good when you could see, we have this problem, how we could overcome this, we need to do that. And it is really nice. And at the end, you have a bunch of friends that will help you also to keep going because they are the one who will recommend you to some more people. So that's how it works.
I hear that you engage with a client with the idea, not on purpose, but you care about them so much that they become friends. The relationship gets so strong. It's empowering, and they also are able to recommend you further and further as we go.
For me, the human relations are the base of all the relations. So it doesn't matter if I want to build your house or if I want to sell you a coffee. When you interact as a human being with another people and it works, you connect, that's what makes the difference. Otherwise, you are another salesman. And that is something we try to do. To offer a service, to work together. We are a team. We are all in this one, This is my house. So this is the things I would like to do for me. So that's why I do it for you. If it is a house or if it is the airport or whatever kind of a work it is. So you put your heart there.
And so you put your heart, you just said, and you approach a project with love. And this is where the beauty of feminine energy brings into construction, in my opinion. Sometimes, it is a male-dominated industry, right? It's 10% of women that are in the construction industry. And I agree totally with you. When I have pursued work, it's been the same concept. I've never seen a client with a dollar sign in their eyes. I always want to go to the heart. And I prioritize the relationship, just so you said it so beautifully. And so what can we do for women, young women, to come into this industry? Because I think this industry could be so much better if more women were in it. Right now it's very transactional, it's harsh, people go for the throat, it's the highest rate of suicide in the construction industry and mining. And I'm a firm believer that women in this industry can bring an amazing balance, our energy, right? Not that we're going to be, is the weak. Some people tend to confuse women are weak. And I think that's not the case. So what can we do to tell women out there, this is a good industry for you, this can be so powerful? How can you help women?
I think, as you said, this is a man's land, We are only 10%. But at the same time, women have the opportunity to bring diversity, to bring another point of view. And, in construction, you need to be flexible to face problems that you have every day. So the opportunity to have another point of view, it is important to get the best solution. So I am convinced that women could bring that to construction. A point of view that will allow to innovate, to evolve, to be in a more holy thing. Because it's a team. In a teamwork, you need people that think different. So when the people think different, they give a different perspective. I think this one is really important for the women to bring here. And then it is a land to conquer. So why not to come?
and there's billions, trillions of dollars in construction. Why not?
And we were agreeing that when people talk about construction and you imagine someone in construction, you think about the hard hat, the vest, that it's always a man, Usually you don't see a woman like that. So we need to change that culture. We need to demonstrate that we can.
How do we change that?
I think we could change that, first of all, being prepared. Study, learn. You need to be prepared. Because one of the most common things is that in construction for us is that sometimes people don't believe you could do it. Maybe that you are not capable of, or you don't have the knowledge to. So you need to be upfront. You need to be twice as good. So you need to say, no, I can do it, and I can do it this good. And I'm sure this will open, the road for a lot of women to come. I think it is important. And the other thing is, you need to put your heart. Women's have
your heart, right?
Yeah, the sense to put a lot of energy on the things. So you carry your child, you educate, you help your husband, you keep your house. You are capable to do a lot of things at the same time. So yes, you can do construction.
I love it. Would you imagine a whole project done by
just by women?
But we need the men too.
Yeah. That's for sure.
It's
the balance.
You're absolutely right about diversity. Diversity and inclusion. People tend to think that diversity is, have black people or white and black, and that's absolutely not the case. It's about, like you said, not only gender diversity, but it's also different cultures. It's also age. Now there's the conversation, the millennials, they don't want to work. And I think that's totally not the case. Sometimes people neglect the older people. Oh, they don't like technology. And diversity and inclusion is so powerful if we can embrace the talent that everyone can bring to the table.
Because the skill is something that it's beyond the age of the gender of the color of it, whatever. It's the skill. So I think if we are able to motivate people to learn those skills, to be a super nice carpenter, to be, super good in all finish or that kind of things, people need that.
So what you're saying, and you've done really good in outlining very key points for success. You've talked about the outcome. Starting with the outcome in mind, what's the purpose? That's what gives you the heart, the why. Why am I doing this? You've said that relationships are key, and I mean, you're amazing. It's you are giving people the real formula for success. You're telling people here that diversity and inclusion matters for us to make a difference in this industry, and I think in the world. The time for that has come for us to do that. And you're telling people we gotta be prepared. It's not a handout. You have to work hard and you have to be prepared.
You have to earn it.
You have to earn it. And in the industry, when we talk about women coming in the industry, sometimes when I started a long time ago, I've seen women in the industry, not a lot, but they look masculine. They look, they cursed a lot, and it didn't look, not that we cannot curse, and it just didn't look like the essence of them, their heart, who they were, their soul was in them. You know what I mean? It's like they adopted somebody else's personality.
Yeah.
And you said, and it's true. We don't want to give women the perception that it doesn't happen. You said that, practically speaking, you show up into a project, into a business meeting, and the assumption is that you don't know, right? I'm sure you've lived it, and I want to know more. When you have that situation, what do you do? Those challenges, let's say when you started a company and you were trying to show people or try to get business, how did you get your first project? How did you overcome a situation where you knew the person didn't think you knew? How did you do that?
There are different kind of people that doubt about you. There are people that just doubt about you because you're a woman. So they have no reason at all. And there are people that doubt because they have knowledge and want to be sure that you also have it. So that's the point. For the first kind of people, that is not too much to say. Like one I was talking about, like kitchen countertops. I was saying, okay, you need to, in order to do the waterfall here, you need to do this. And he asked me, but have you ever done a kitchen? Like that, in front of everyone. So I started laughing because I think if you put a note to relax, so instead to be angry, I start laughing and say, you know what, I think I have been doing like around 5,000 kitchens. Do you think that is enough? So then people were laughing, and then the people who know me were like, hey, why are you doing that? So it passed. And the other thing is also, I don't get offended. So I try to demonstrate if you have a doubt. So I explain to you. So when you listen to me, you know that I know. And the other thing is, I try to be humble because there is always opportunity to learn from everyone, from the guy that is carrying the slab, or for the driver, or for the girl that is sweeping the floor. For everyone, you learn. So you need to be humble enough to do what is necessary. Our company is also a small company, so we do everything, and everyone do what it needs to be done. So if today I need to clean, this is my job, even though tomorrow I will be, with my high heels and talking. But today, hey, today is the last day here. Today, everyone is cleaning. So that kind of things, it creates, a teamwork, and the people respect you because you don't think you are the boss. No, you are the boss today, but you are the clean girl tomorrow.
Absolutely. Tell me about a challenge. Tell me about the most difficult challenge you've overcome, you had to face in these almost 3 years in business that you've had. Tell me what happened, what was the situation like, and how did you overcome the challenge? How did you plan it, strategize it? What did you do about it, and where are you today?
Maybe one of the biggest challenges was in one of the projects we were working on. The owner wanted us to do more, to do even things that we didn't have too much knowledge about it. So we said, okay, we could say no, we cannot do it. Or we learn and, we team with the people who know how to do it. And it was hard because it was things that we weren't used to. So everyone needed to learn. And it happened also a lot on the industry that we have, for example, new materials. So sometimes, let's say you are used to do these countertops just in granite. But now you have quartz, or you have quartzite, or you have marble, or you have porcelain. And, it's another word. Then you need to evolve. And then you need to learn. So, yes, I have been pushed to learn a lot. And I think this is good because even though, it kept me awake for a lot of nights, at the end, it's something that you have and no one can take it from you. So that's good.
So learning, you like learning.
Yes.
It pushes you to grow.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're growing?
I feel happy. I really feel happy. Happiness is different for everyone. I think that realization made me happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Do you think the construction industry needs more women now?
I think construction really needs a lot of women. First of all, construction needs people. There are not enough people in construction. So, yeah, we need more people in general, and for sure, more women. As I said, also we would bring this diversity, which is super good. And also women are really skilled for some matters that could really, put more in construction, like control, like supervision, like, interpretation. I think this is really important. I am sure this is a turf to grow for us.
So, what advantages would you say? Tell me 3 things that you believe a young woman that starts in this industry will obtain in 20 years, let's say. She starts in this industry and she stays in the industry. And suck it up, right? Suck up the challenges.
Yes,
and
hang in there.
Hang in there and stays persistent. In 20 years, where will she be? What are the 3 advantages that she will obtain?
Well, first, she will learn a lot. And she will learn things that not only will make her grow in the construction industry, but as a person. So because you learn about how the pipes are put in a house. So when you live in your house and you have a problem, now you know where the pipe comes and you know what you need to do. So that will prepare you for life. Not only for construction, but for life. You need to put your TV on the wall. So now you know, I need the stud. How do I know where the studs are? So you grow as a person. So that would be for sure something good. And also, if you go up and up inside that industry, you will be able to not only be part of the big machine, but also you would be able to run the machine. And that would be amazing. And if you like it, then you could create your own company and do more, And do more for others is always rewarded. It's always nice. So I think women's could do beautiful things. But, it have been a short period for us. I think, 80 years ago, people look at the women's wearing pants like freaking out, Only 80 years ago, or I don't know, I think it was in 1979, the first time a woman run the whole project for the highlights. So we have been in this battle for a short period. I think we have a lot to do.
Right. And so you mentioned that you grew because I'm trying. So one of the things you said that you can advantages is growth, right? Growth at multi levels. Growth personally and growth also professionally. But on your personal life, so one of the areas is growth. I'm looking for two more advantages that you can think of that that for you has been reality in your life. What other advantages have you seen? Financial?
Yeah, for sure. Right now, women's get less money for their work compared with the same type of work with the men. But I think that is something that we could, make balance in the future if there are more women in construction, if the women have better, high ranking, that is something that really could work. So for sure, construction will bring you financially comfort. And that's important. So not only the knowledge, but the realization, but also financially, you will be in better conditions to do more for your own people.
When you talk about realization, you talk about fulfillment, and it's beautiful when you say do more for others than for yourself, and that is the key and the formula for actually financial wealth. When you're able to do your product can transform and help more people, it just comes back to you. So that's beautiful, and I am blessed to have you here and have this conversation. You're gonna do wonders.
No, Evan, you inspire me. So hello.
So tell me, what makes you proud of your work when you're done with a kitchen or your renovation of a house? Because you were showing me some pictures and they're really beautiful. I know you're proud about your work. How do you get there? How do you overcome the challenges that come day to day with people and with the environment, or something happens, the pandemic? I want to hear about the pandemic. How do you get to a finished product that makes you proud?
Well, one of the things that made me proud of my work is when my clients are happy. When they get something even better that they were expecting. So that is important because, in construction, there are a lot of chances that you make mistakes because it's difficult to make a perfect line between the ceiling and the wall, and it is difficult. So when you create something that your client feel happy, it really makes you proud. And it makes me proud of my team.
So what do you do?
So we were looking for, what we're going to do. And then we found that we could do stuff that could be done even though the pandemic exists. So we started doing works in places where we were really separate one from the other. So besides to be, covered and all these. So we were working, for example, in a kitchen restaurant.
But how do you get that project? Was it something that did you go out there and you look for the job, or did it come to you?
Well, we started talking, with some friends. Hey, we're looking for work that we could do in these kind of things. And one friend of mine, which is a GC, say, hey, Regla, you know what? I have a client that needs to do this work, and I think you will be perfect for it. So that's how we did it. So it was good because even though we were a few people there, we were completely separate, we turn apart everything, and then we put it back again. So
Relationship.
that really helped us to go through.
So your
Yeah.
relationships
Yes.
that you had built help you continue in the worst time.
Yeah, I have to say that I really appreciate that kind of relation, and yeah, from that job, some more jobs came, and they have some partners, and they introduced us to the partners. It was good, but it was really hard. It was, and we weren't afraid because of our families, and so we were like wearing masks, and I spent so much money on super duper masks, the N95, we have them all. Yeah, we were wearing gloves and changing.
Yeah.
We protect ourselves. And I need to say, no one in my team, no one got the COVID during that time.
I know.
We got it later, but not at the time.
My company, I don't know if it's prayer or what, but nobody has ever, we couldn't stop either. We had to work. It was mandatory for us to work.
Yeah.
We could not stop a project. We even had the police showing up, and many of us were virtual, but there were a lot of people in the field too. And let me tell you, no one got COVID. I did. I had COVID. And I got COVID just because I went to an event that I group of people, and we met. I praise people. I love people too. So, but it was good. It was. Nobody has to this day has gotten COVID in our company. It's a blessing. It's been a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
Let me ask you: have you ever had a challenge with a client that I know you work really hard on relationships and serving the client, but have you ever had a client that you've done their best and this person is still not satisfied? I'm like, what?
Oh,
what
yes,
is it?
for sure.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it happens. It's a human nature. There are different kind of people, and there are people that can never be completely satisfied. I think there are unhappy people. So we do our best, and we explain, our best, and that's all we could do.
But what do you do? We agree that there's happy people, unhappy people. I believe that hurt people, if you're hurt inside, you're going to hurt others.
Yes, yeah.
That what you are inside comes out. Especially under pressure. You did a job, the person paid. A lot of times they don't want to really pay.
Yeah.
And they find an excuse.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
I can say, sometimes when it happens, there are some other motive behind that. Like they don't want to pay you, so they start complaining about stuff in order not to pay you. But sometimes it's just a matter to try to explain and try to bring people to senses. I have to say, one of my worst is there were people that have no manners. So that is difficult, to treat. People that are used to talk about them in bad way, and then they think they could talk to everyone like that.
But
those kind of things, you need to say, hey, you know what? Let's leave the conversation here. You take your time, and then we come back later. Because I'm not used to talk in this. I think the most important is the respect. So let's keep this one, and then we'll talk later on.
And do you do it?
Yeah. So when the people see that, they back off, and they come back
and
in a different level.
Did you get paid?
Yes, fortunately, but I needed to sweat.
You had to sweat.
Yeah.
You got paid.
But it's part of the job. Sometimes you get super nice clients, and sometimes they are not so nice. But it's their way of life. It's not that they want to be bad with you. That's how they live. So you just try to accommodate.
So what's been the challenge? Because I know your daughter is very important for you. Have you ever had a challenge, a personal challenge, that you wake up today and you're like, you have this work to do, and you have to deliver this job on time, and they're waiting for it, and something is going on at the job, but then you have a personal challenge and you want to be there. Somebody got sick, someone in your family, and you don't know how to divide yourself, but you want to be in both places at the same time. What do you do?
Yeah, that is really hard because I think it happens all the moms. Sometimes your kid is sick and then you need to work. So you wake up, you say, "Hey," my daughter's name Camila, and say, "Hi, Cami, how do you feel? You took the pill? You eat this one? Okay, stay here, do this. I will be back maybe in 3 hours." So I go there, I do what I need to do, and then I come back to be with her. It is tough to do it. And in my house, for example, we like to sit on the table to have dinner every night. So sometimes it takes me long to be at the office because I'm preparing a presentation or something and it is already 9. I feel the pressure because I know they are waiting for me to arrive to eat. So, but it's, at the same time, it's good to know that you have that backup, that they are there for you.
And they understand.
Yeah. So it is hard.
They like to
But
see
at the
that.
same, she's my engine. I'm just saying she's the one that drives me. So
To do what you do.
because I want her to know that you need to fight, you need to work hard in order to accomplish whatever you want in life. So this is the way to do it. Nothing would come from, fortunately from the sky, except water. So go to work.
And she's learning that. She's learned from you. Are you proud of her?
Yeah, I am. She's doing right now law at UM. She's doing super good and she's really involved on everything that is diversity and climate change and women's everything related. She belongs to a lot of things, so yes, she's fighting hard. And I'm really proud to see her doing
So
that.
if she's listening to you now, what would you tell her?
She knows I adore her. So I just want her to be happy. And in order for anyone to be happy, you need to realize in your life, you need to do things that you love. Because only if you love what you do, you could wake up every day at 5 a.m., and work the whole day. So
Work doesn't feel like work when you do what you love,
Yeah.
right?
it is
It's
like
more like play.
like a pleasure. Okay, here we're playing to be working,
And then you get paid for it, right?
which is even better.
So what's next for you? Where do you see yourself, 5 years from now?
Well, we are growing, we want to create a brand, we would like to be recognized for the job we do. And we wanted to grow and do more deeply, not do more jobs, but do jobs more deeply. So we could do different stuff using different materials, really creating. Because sometimes, the job, it's the simple one, it's everything the same, but no, you could create.
You want to do more complex projects?
Yeah.
Always in the residential space?
No, we have done commercials. Right now we're working in commercial place in West Palm Beach, and yeah, we could do that.
Commercial and residential.
Yeah, in both. But in both of them, I would like to start creating more. Like there are new materials, as I told you.
Design.
Like,
You want to
yeah.
participate in the design process?
Well, we do.
You do now,
Yeah.
but you in these bigger projects, you want to have the opportunity to participate in the design.
Yeah,
process.
like include more stuff. Like people are using now more porcelain. They are creating new materials. They are creating new devices that make kitchens more comfortable. They are creating different lighting. That kind of things that you could introduce and make the life of the people better.
And if you consider you're an expert in kitchens and you've done, 5,000 kitchens or more, if somebody's planning a kitchen, and I know kitchens are important I think it's one of the most important spaces in the house,
Yeah.
and the bathrooms. So what are the 3 things people need to consider, the 3 big things that people need to consider when they're planning their kitchen?
Well, I think one of the things is how to make your kitchen useful, functional. Because a beautiful kitchen, the kitchen is not there just to decorate your house. It is there to allow you to create a food for your family. So it needs to be functional.
You can have a beautiful
Yeah,
kitchen,
it's very beautiful.
and it can be a nightmare.
Yeah, a nightmare because you cannot access to anything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So first, it needs to be functional. Secondly, I think it needs to be like for a long time, because the kitchen is the kind of investment you do maybe one or twice in your life. It's like to buy a car. So it's
durable.
Yeah, it have to be durable. So in my opinion, I will suggest don't go to extreme, because it will pass and you will get bored and you will get, sick of your own kitchen. So do something that you will love it today and 10 years from now or 5 years from now,
Yeah, because the trends
change.
and
So now it is in fashion with the stripe, but it won't be in 2 years.
What else?
And the third one is, and then you need to invest. If you want your kitchen to be functional, you need to invest on your kitchen. So you need to have good appliance. You need to have a good countertop. So because you will do it once. So if you put something bad, it won't last. So in 5 years, you will have a problem more than a kitchen. So
appliances are
appliances are important. And the materials you use for your own kitchen. So you use crappy materials, they will fall down. As soon as they get wet or something happen, or you select the countertop that is not from the best source, it will stain. Yeah. So you will lose your investment. Think about it like an investment. So it's an investment for pleasure because you will enjoy it every day. And it is an investment for your own house, because even when you are selling your house, the people, one of the things they look at most is the kitchen.
Absolutely. So tell me, if somebody's starting, you have inspired a ton of people now. There's a lot of women that they want to start a company, they want to start in construction. Tell me, if somebody wants to start a company in the construction space, what are the 3 things that you would tell that person to really consider now in retrospect? If you had to start all over again, your own company, what would you do differently? How would you do it?
Well, I think it is important to have a team. I have it now, but it really, it cost me time and effort for us to find, I think it is important. As I said, you cannot do anything alone. So you need to have backup. Not only backup, you need to have people in front of you that will say, hey, you know what? I think it would be better if you would go this way. I think it would be better if you do this one. So you need this. And even you need people to challenge you, because when you get challenged, you grow. So this is important in life, but in construction especially. So things you need to do: 1, create a routine, find the right people to go in this road with you. Also, you need resources, because construction is not cheap. So you need to invest in tools, in, all this, it really costs money. And depending the quality of your tools, will depends the quality of the job you could do. And then invest in learn a lot. So it will prepare you for everything. Whatever you need to do, even if you think you know. As I say, I do kitchen. Okay, I need to put a new marble that I never used before. Where did it come from? From which country? Does it have more limestone? So learn about it, so you will have less problem later. Or not at all. Or you will get more from it. So learn, I think it is important.
So how do you learn? How do you keep yourself growing? How do you read?
Yeah, I read a lot.
What book are you reading now?
Oh, if it is talking about books, I like different kind of books, but the people knows that one of my best books is The Piles of the Earth. So it is talking when the cathedrals were made. It's the life of an English family at the 18th century. But it's amazing to see how they were able to do at that time, that even today we appreciate. So that's the kind of things that inspire me, Things like, wow, these people did good with a few resources because, they didn't have too much. So I read. And I read a lot because if you ask me for something I will learn, I will look for and say, oh, it's made of this one. Who produced it, from where it come from, what we could do. Let me see how it works. Yeah, I think to be curious, it's important.
Curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you have created the culture and the team that you have. You allow them to give opinion and you allow them to tell you and if you're going in the wrong direction and that's, you have to be curious in order to do that. So I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. So tell me about transformation. I believe in my experience, business has been a spiritual transformation for me. I believe my business has transformed me, and obviously raising 5 kids, there's definitely transformation there. What do you think you have seen your biggest transformation into in you as a person, as a soul?
I think one of the biggest transformations for me have been to be more open-minded. Besides constructions, one of the things I like the most is to travel. I love to go places and meet new people and new cultures. So you could understand better, and then you will know why they do the things they do, and you appreciate that. So in construction, I have been more open to treat with different kind of people, and you learn things for everyone. So it turned me down, if I could say, because sometimes I am so energetic, and I would say, yeah, we could do this, and and then I start listening, they say, no, we cannot. So that kind of thing. So I think the best transformation for me is I listen more. So I think I'm ready because of that.
Open.
Yes.
Listen, curious.
Yes.
That's beautiful. It really is. It really is.
But it have been really hard.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So what instance can you remember when you did the shift? When you said, when you shift that, what was before and what was later?
Well, I think I cannot say that there was an instant, but I could say when we start, as you said, we started and a few months later, the pandemic came. So it was really, really hard. But then when the pandemic started, the time started passing by and we survived, it really gave me more energy. Because I said, okay, if we survive this, we could survive anything. Yeah, and then it was good to see that we were able to go through that and get to the other side with bright colors. It was nice.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
The pleasure has been all mine.
I hope your business continues to thrive. And I agree with you. If you have been able to do this through the pandemic, and many businesses closed down, and you've been able to be resourceful and empower your team and empower yourself and keep the end in mind of what you want, how you started and what you wanted to do. So I really, really congratulate you, commend you, and continue to inspire people. You're doing it.
Thank you very much. I think you're doing really a great job, trying to help others and to show others the way to go. It's really nice because you are not keeping it for your own. You already succeed, but you are not, sitting there just enjoying it. You are telling everyone, hey, come this way. This is how you get here. So I really thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Thriving in Construction, the podcast with Patricia Bonilla. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. If you have any suggestions or any related topics you would like us to tackle in our future episodes, feel free to comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week here in Thriving in Construction, the podcast.